Alright, what's up guys? We're back with another NFL tier list. This time we're doing the NFL running backs. So I did I did the quarterbacks, I did the rookie quarterbacks, and then I did the wide receivers. But now we're going to do the NFL running backs, and I'm just going to do the base guys. I'm not going to rank the rookies off their potential or anything like that because they haven't played a snap in the NFL yet. So I hope you guys enjoy it, so let's just get right into it. So starting off, we have Aaron Jones, and I'm going to throw him in the B tier. He's a great player, massive injury history. We're gonna have to see how that turns out when he's on the Vikings. Next up, we have Alvin Kamara. He's washed, but he's still good. Bijan, despite not cracking 1,000 yards last year, I still think with this new system, he's an A tier running back, generational prospect, if you will. Next up, we have Breece Hall, and I'm going to also put him in A tier, but simply for the fact that he's been used somewhat heavily. Next up, we have Brian Robinson Jr., and I'm going to put him in the B tier. He's going to have a lot of his workload taken off of him because he has, what's his face? I'm blanking here. Am I dumb? No, Austin Eckler taking most of the snaps. And Christian McCaffrey, on the other hand, is an automatic S tier. I believe he is the best running back in football, and I don't think it's very close. Next, we have D Swift. I think he's a tad bit overrated, but I'm gonna still put him in the B tier. Next, we have David Montgomery. We're gonna actually put him in the B tier. Derrick Henry. I'm still going to put him in the S tier. I think he's still an amazing running back. And I mean, sure, age is going to catch up with him soon, but we've seen some of these players be able to, like some of these old running backs, be able to play for a very, very long time. And I think he's going to be one of those guys. So I don't think age is catching up with him just yet. Next, we have Achane. I want to put him high, but I'm going to put him up here just because he was injured. But I do think he's an A tier caliber running back, but he did get injured last year. So next we have Zeke, who gets a C tier. He's washed, actually. I'm gonna be honest, like he's actually washed. The other guys, some of these guys are washed per se, but no, he is washed. Actually, I'm gonna put him down here. We have Gus the Bus. I'm gonna put him in the C tier. Again, he's not as washed and bad as Zeke, but he's still not that great. Next we got Pikachu. And I'm going to put him in A tier for the simple result. I think he's actually a little underrated. I think that there's not a lot of guys who I'd say are better than Pacheco. Jahmyr Gibbs, A tier, easy. Just absolutely outstanding rookie season. I believe he was the best rookie running back last year out of that class. Next, we have James Conner. I'm going to put James Conner in the B tier. Next up, we have James Cook. Again, I loved his performance last year, but the dude has a fumbling problem. The dude can't handle the damn ball. So next we have Javonte Williams, and I'm actually going to put him in the C tier. I think, again, I'm kind of bad at strictening my criteria, but he's a step below pretty much everybody up here, so I have to put him there. Jaylen Warren, I'm going to put probably also in the B tier. I think he's going to take a lot of the load off of Najee Harris, and it's going to be a bit of a controversial room. And I think at this point, I think he is better than Najee Harris, so I have no complaints there. Joe Mixon, I'm going to also put in B tier, but the lowest tier of B tier. And the reason I say that is because I think as a running back, as for yardage, he's not the best for yardage, but he's a great receiving back, and he's great at hawking touchdowns, so I can't complain there. Next, we have Jonathan Taylor. I still think he's a great player. I'm going to put him in the A tier. I just think there was that controversy last year with Jim Irsay and him and his contract, and he requested a trade, I believe. So we didn't get to see his full potential. Josh Jacobs, on the other hand, was being a hoe and he was just holding out for a contract. So I'm going to actually put him just in the B tier. But I still think he's a great player, but he kind of laid an egg last year. So we got to see more out of him, and hopefully he'll be a little bit better. Kenneth Walker. I don't know a whole lot about Kenneth Walker. I really haven't watched much of his tape. I honestly don't really know. He was in the running for Rookie of the Year when he was drafted, so for that reason, I'm going to just slap him in the B tier. Let's see, Kyren Williams, A tier, easy. I almost want to put him S tier, but then again, he just blew up this year. These guys have always been good. There's a few guys here who have been good for multiple years. He's been good for 1 year, so I need to see another good year out of him. But I'm sure he'll have a great year. Najee, I might actually put Najee in C tier, and the only reason, there's 2 reasons for this. One, I think he's regressing, and the other reason is because he sold me in fantasy last year because I picked him in an earlier round in my fantasy league last year, and he sold. The only reason I didn't fucking go like 2-9 is because of fucking Amon-Ra St. Brown and who was the other person I had, and Josh Allen as my QB. That's the only reason I didn't go 2-9. This dude was responsible for so many deficits in my fantasy league. I can't forgive him for that. Nick Chubb. Do I put my faith in Nick Chubb? I'm not going to put him in S tier, even though I think he's an S tier running back. But coming off of that injury, that type of injury, there's no chance that he's going to be what he used to be. But I still think before he got injured, he was the best running back in football. And I think if he didn't get injured, he still would have been the best running back in football. This guy, I love this guy. That's my guy, bro. Rachaad White, I think he's good, but I don't think he's as good as these guys. And actually, I'm going to move Mixon down here. Again, I don't think Mixon is bad, but I got to stricten my criteria a little bit. You have Raheem Mostert. I'm actually going to throw him in the B tier. Despite him having the most touchdowns out of any running back, to be fair, he had like 4 in one game. And it's a bit padded because they ran him a lot because A-Chain was injured. So I can't take it from him. But he's like 30. So, yeah. Ramondre Stevenson, I'm putting C tier. I think he's a step above Zeke, but he's not really the kind of guy who I would really want on my roster. We got Saquon. I think he's a S tier. I think he is a glove perfect fit in Philly, despite how much that pains me to say. As painful as that is to say, I do think he's the perfect fit in Philly. And if he has the season I think he's going to have in Philly, he might become the best running back in football. This dude, he's generational, and unfortunately, the Giants wasted him. I'll just say it, because they did. Tony Pollard, on the other hand, I still think is good, but I think he's in the very top of B tier. And the reason I say that is because I think he was a tad bit disappointing last year on the Cowboys. He wasn't very good in the red zone. Was not good at all in the red zone, actually, as a matter of fact. And that's all I really have to say about him. Next up, we have Travis Etienne. And Travis Etienne, I'm putting A tier. I think he's incredibly underrated. Just so good. Like, he puts up good numbers in real life and in fantasy. And last we got Zach Moss. I'll put him in. I mean, he kind of blew up, so I'll put him in B tier. I'm gonna edit this list real quick. I think this is a little loose, so I'm gonna edit this list. I'll be right back. All right, and that's my slight change to the list. I actually didn't change it as much as I thought I was going to, but I still changed it a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This one's a bit of a shorter one. Just kind of ranking these running backs. There's a few less of them than I thought, and if you guys want me to go more in depth with like the depth charts of these guys and more of them, like there's a few guys I'm not even seeing on here, like Singletary. I haven't seen Rico Dowdle. There's a few other guys I haven't seen on here who I think should be on this list because I believe this is a 2024 to 2025 with rookies. So we definitely should, like Miles Sanders, Dameon Pierce. There's a few guys on here I think would benefit from being on this tier list, and I could have added them, but if you guys want to see an expanded version, just let me know, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys later.